All right, Monday Night Movie Club. We are here with Brett Wagner, the lost Leatherface. We have tracked him down, not in Texas, apparently somewhere in California. Brett, would you please tell our audience how you doing and where you been?
Well, why don't you tell your audience, first of all, that we're friends, that
We are,
we've known each other a long time, and you're sounding so buttoned up.
yeah. Well, let
Shake
me
it
let me
loose. You got
go.
yes. There you
There we
go.
go.
Yes.
I'm buttoning
Shake
a
it.
little bit. Whew.
How
All
long have we
right.
known each other for now?
We did a screening of an ice cream social and cigar screening for Leatherface 10 years ago now.
Okay, so I've known you about 10 and a half years, 10
Yeah.
years. Well, it was
Yeah.
when Dan Yeager, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, Leatherface, who by the way is the biggest Leatherface there's ever been in the movies, height wise and probably size. Well, not size wise, but height wise, he definitely was the tallest Leatherface ever. Did a great job. But yes, I live in California uh, my whole life, except for a year in Mexico, and then I've been an actor for 36 years, I believe, and I got to play Leatherface at least for a couple days in the 2003 remake.
Nice. And now you have one of the most excellent kills in the whole movie. It's pretty monumentous. Would you please tell us about the Kimper kill?
Yeah, well, so I was cast as Leatherface. I got the gig. I was very excited. I called a million people, and once I got the gig, I called like 150 people in like 3 minutes, and then the casting called me back like 30 minutes later and said, "Don't tell anybody."
That's about the way it goes. And
My
then
first call, my first call was to R.A. Mihailov, a very good friend of mine.
now R.A. Mihailov was Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 for you guys who don't know who R.A. is. If you
Yes,
if you don't know him, you do need to get to know him. Great barbecuer, awesome guy.
great barbecuer. Hold on, my air conditioner. Let me shut my door real quick.
Yeah. He's shutting his door. See, look in the back with the Leatherface mask and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, it's all Leatherface stuff in my room. I have a lot of stuff, so we even got one of the guys here. Yeah, Ari Mihailofta saw his family. We were working bars and clubs, big nightclubs in LA together when I was very young, and he was younger. And so yeah, it was a good times back then. But yeah, so we get to filming, and the first real big day of filming, I got heat stroke, and so it was not a good thing. And what happens when you get heat stroke is your body's devoid of a lot of water,
Hmm.
and then my muscles in my back tightened up, and it was had to finish dragging Kemper Eric Balfour across the room, across the house, and slamming that door shut. And I was in a lot of pain, but got it done. Got dropped off at the hospital. 3 days later, they had a replacement for me, which I understand.
Sure.
And because when you got you're speaking $17 million movie, they don't have time to wait. They asked me, "Hey, how long?" And I said, "Probably a week," because I've strained my back before. So,
Sure.
and they didn't have time. But yeah, so I never even really talked about it because I was embarrassed. And then later on, over the last I think six years ago, one of the magazines was like, "Well, they were doing an article on all the people who played Leatherface, and
Hmm.
they knew better than I." And they said, "Yeah, Brett Wagner, he was originally cast as Leatherface." And I was like, "Well, I was. I just don't like talking about it." But they it started, being able to do some conventions, and I finally came to grips with like, yeah, look at, I was Leatherface for, I like to say a week because I was there a week's time, but
Yeah.
I do the first kill in the movie, and I think I was on camera doing something else, but you can't tell whether it's me or the other guy. So
Now,
that's what I say.
one of my favorite Brett stories you have is in the early promotional photos. Schwag always wears rings. He's got a whole loaded set of fingers covered in rings. Now, doesn't Leatherface have those rings in the original in your photos?
Well, I mean, there's really they in our movie they did wear. I thought I was the only guy that wore rings, but because I didn't think they would fit the other guy's big hand. He has big hands, but they were both wearing rings in the movie. But yeah, I love my rings. They're in my safe right now behind me. So yeah, I would. Yeah, yeah, it was fun. There's really for promotional shots because I was gone after a week's time on the set with these folks. There's really no publicity pictures of me that they, you know, I'm sure they were a little angry, but I found some stuff that, or we've gotten some screen grabs when I go do conventions. And yeah, look it was fun to be Leatherface, even if it was only for one scene in the movie. So,
Sure. Now, you said conventions. How has the convention scene been treating you? Have they embraced you as the Leatherface for the family, and has it been fun?
yeah. I mean, look at it's a blessing. It's a whole another avenue to make money if you're an entertainer or you're an actor, right? And
Hmm.
it's taken a few years for the people. They always say, "Oh, I thought there was only one Leatherface," because I don't get the credit in the
Sure.
movie. They don't talk about it, and that's probably because my agent was trying to sue them, saying, "Hey, he got heat stroke. It's not his fault. You got to pay him."
Sure.
And then when it came down to it, I think I remember a year after that, after from when I got sent home, Screen Actors Guild called me, and the guy goes, "Look, do you really want to sue Michael Bay?" And I was like, "Nah, it's probably not a good idea. Let's just drop it."
Sure.
But would it be nice to have gotten that credit? Of course.
Yeah.
But because then, people for years, no one knew there was another guy in the movie, and the other guy's not doesn't like saying that I do the first kill in the movie for some strange reason.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, Arrow Video just did a new 4K version of it's going to release this month, by the way, of
Oh,
Texas
nice.
Chainsaw Massacre and the beginning,
Hmm.
the one after ours. And they contacted me and they do a whole 30-minute interview with actor Brett Wagner, the Lost Leatherface, which is great. So I
Wow.
get to tell my story. And I mean, most people at the conventions know there's two of us in the movie. And,
Sure. Well, it's even like the
but
Friday the 13th movies, or the Halloween movies. Like in the first Halloween, there was like six different people playing Michael Myers doing six different things, you know? Like,
yeah,
and Nick Castle gets the credit as the shape, but there were so many other hands, literally your eyes or sides involved in it that it wasn't just Nick Castle.
yeah. But Nick Castle's the greatest guy in the world. And there's
Oh yeah.
been, my buddy Doug Tate is
Yeah.
in Freddy versus Jason, and he's comes out of the water with Jason's head. I mean,
Yep.
Fred
Yeah.
comes out with Freddy's head, and cruises out of the water. So yeah, there's plenty of people. Kane Hodder does some of the stunts as Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. I mean,
Yeah.
so
He did the
there's
preview and such too. Yeah. Kane Hodder is one of the main guys who played Jason for a handful of the movies. He also did Freddy's Glove as it's coming out in Freddy, the not Freddy, but the Friday the 13th Jason Goes to Hell, part a million and five or whatever. So he's played every single part, maybe but Michael Myers.
yeah, I think the only thing he hasn't played is Michael Myers,
Yeah.
but that would be God, what's his name now? Tom. He's a stuntman. He's played Leatherface. He's played Michael Myers, and he has played Jason.
So
The
then
only
he
guy
needs
to do it.
yeah. Oh, Tom Morga.
Tom Morga, yeah. So Tom Morga does stunts and is playing Leatherface in part two on the bridge and some other stuff. So,
Ah,
so and now Doug Tate has played
Michael
Jason, and
Myers.
he's also done Michael Myers. So the only
Yeah.
thing that he hasn't done is Leatherface, which I'd love to see, Dougie Tate's do Leatherface, because look, they're very few and far in between when you get to be able to play some of the big characters, the big guys.
Sure.
They tried to do the Robert Englund thing, and although that actor is amazing,
Oh, Jackie
it
Earl
just
Haley. Yeah.
yeah, he's an amazing actor and a great guy.
Yeah.
And I follow him on Instagram. I love the guy, and he puts
He
out
was a bad
videos all
news
the time.
bear. Yeah.
He's a good dude, but it's not Freddy Krueger. It's just
Right.
it didn't work.
Yeah.
So it's tough to play these guys. Yes, you can put different people. I love Kane Hodder. I've become good friends with him as
Yeah.
of the last couple of years, thanks to Felissa Rose.
Hmm.
We do a show together.
And now
The
for
Killing
you
Time.
guys, Felissa Rose is Angela from Sleepaway Camp with the whoopsie daisy moment at the end.
Yes, and the Terrifier 2 and
Yeah,
8 million other movies. If you go to Screenbox or Shudder or
sure.
Tubi, you see all the movies she's been in, and she's a great friend and to me and my wife and a lot of people in the business, and just a very and I've learned actually from her and guys and people like Bill Moseley how to you know uh, do a convention, because even though we're all actors and we're entertainers, it doesn't mean you know what to do when you go to a big convention and there's 60,000 people there, or there's not.
Yeah,
So I've learned a lot from Felissa and some of these people, and for me as a fan of the business, I love to do the conventions because I get to meet some of the people that I'm fans of.
absolutely.
I'm a big fan of Kane Hodder's, right?
Yeah,
I got to meet him. I'm a big fan of Tom Matthews, which
yep, you got
I'm
it.
wearing a hat right there
Return of
from
the Living Dead.
yeah, and Friday the 13th Part 6.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of CJ Graham from Friday the 13th Part
Oh
6.
yeah.
So, and I become close friends with these guys and some of the girls in the business because I get to do the conventions. It's a blessing. Plus we sometimes we do really well and we make money and we can pay our rent, you
Yeah.
know.
Absolutely. Now, Brett, you've been in the business for decades now. What are some of the other horror releases that you've got a chance to be a part of?
Well, I loved being in the movie The Crazies with Timothy Oliphant, 2010. That was a real good movie. I don't think it gets enough credit for. It was a brilliant. Breck Eisner directed it. Michael
And it got
Eisner's
you on the
son.
cover of Fango, right? Fangoria?
Yeah, it got me on the cover of Fangoria magazine. The late great Robert Hall, a buddy of mine, got called me and said, "Hey, they like this picture. You're going to be on the cover of Fangoria." And I was like, "Whoa!"
That's
Which
awesome.
is a big deal if you're
That's huge. Like
if
us.
you're an actor and you love horror movies. That's a big
Yeah.
deal. So
And
so yeah, yeah, it was pretty cool. Oh, I like that. I'm in a couple of movies the last couple of years. This guy Sean C. Phillips, who does a lot of crowdfunding for movies and has figured a
mhm.
way to do it really well and make some money, and he gets some good people in. I've been in a couple of his movies called Desert Fiends 1 and 2.
Okay.
It's free on Tubi, by the way. Kind of a funny, gross 80s, harken back to The Hills Have Eyes, and
Fabulous.
some fun stuff. And we get to work with Scout Taylor Compton in it and Bai Ling and kill them both. And so another cool thing to do. So yeah, and we got I'm going to be doing. I love some of the independent horror flicks. They're great, and I'm still an actor, right? So when this opportunities come up to do this stuff, you do it.
Yeah.
I got Shiners next year coming out with um, some guys, Kyle Shute, who helps put on these big conventions in Tennessee.
Sure.
And Kyle's going to be directing his first feature, and I get to do that called Shiners. And there's some good, there's a lot of good stuff coming up. And then plus, I still audition. I did NCIS a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and
Oh, nice.
that's always that's always cool when you audition for something and then you get it, and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to be doing NCIS, which is great. So.
So are you drug dealer or bouncer or professional
Nah,
wrestler?
just a truck driver, just
Ah,
driving a truck.
nice. And also I wanted to bring up one of my favorites. John dies at the end.
What a great fun movie! Yeah, I got a quick scene in the beginning of the movie, and that was with one of my favorite all-time directors, top 5 directors for me, and and just a great human being, Don Coscarelli,
Oh yeah. And he was
and his
also in
wife.
Return of the Living Dead as well, right?
No, Don Coscarelli directed Phantasm.
Uh-oh. See that? Whoops. Darn it.
Yeah, come on. You got to know these directors. The director of Phantasm and Beastmaster and Bubba Hotep, and
Bubba Hotep was so good. Oh my goodness.
just an all-around great guy. And I've become friends with him and his wife, and I'm blessed because I'm a big fan of his. So
Sure. So, just to kind of wrap stuff up with this whole chainsaw like Leatherface family, what is your takeaway, or what would you say means the most to you about this character?
Well, I mean, the thing that's made most of me is I've gotten to meet the other guys that have played Leatherface over the years, and I've become really good friends with a lot of them. And we just lost Bob Elmore, who was
Yeah,
in part two and did a lot of the most of the stunts in part two. And you got Bill Johnson and Bob Elmore, who basically were both Leatherface in that movie. And but it's great. I mean, look at it's a part of history, right? This
yeah.
is the franchise that keeps giving. Daniel Pearl, who was the DP, that ran the camera on the original movie, I've become good friends with. And I didn't even know because I was so short on the set in part three. I mean, in our movie, the
Mhm.
2003 remake, that Marcus Nispel, the great director of our movie, and also Friday the 13th,
The
the
remake.
remake with Derek Mears,
Yeah,
he brought Daniel Pearl back. And, here I am filming, had no idea who the guy behind the camera was. And normally I would know that, but I just was excited to get filming and then I got hurt. So,
sure.
but we've become good friends and we've done some conventions together. So, it's then the fans are a big deal, right? So these people, whether you're in the movie for a minute and 50 seconds or you played the whole thing, the fans of this franchise are amazing people that love it, as I am a fan of the franchise. So
Absolutely. And without Leatherface, we wouldn't know each other. You know what I'm saying?
that's right. My God. Well, maybe I should have passed on that gig.
Such a
Yeah.
rascal.
No, we wouldn't have. But
Yeah.
it's a
I'm
great look
thankful.
at.
Yeah. I'm thankful for it. I mean, you look at it, it's basically like a family movie because all those MFers come into that house, the family house, they're not invited. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
that's the yeah. I know that's been going around on the websites and everything
He
else and
just
on
cares about his family. He's just protecting his family.
sure.
That's it.
But look at without Toby Hooper and Kim Heichel and all those guys that put that movie together, Gunnar Hansen and everybody else and the Daniel Pearls, there wouldn't be. It probably wouldn't be a lot of these serial killers, TV serial killers and
Sure.
monsters that we have today. That was one of the first movies where people could say, "Ooh, this could be real." We'd still be with Godzilla, which is fine, and Mothra and all that stuff, and
Sure. But now
some
those
of
are
the
all
Hammer,
acted by CG. You
yeah,
can't CG Leatherface.
some of the Hammer films, and
Yeah.
you'd have your Dracula, you'd have your werewolf, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre put a whole new spin on the genre of the horror and made it like, wow, this is like could be real life. And even though it was based off of Ed Gein, the Plainsfield Butcher,
Sure.
um, which Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy is portraying in a movie coming out, playing Ed Gein. So, and Psycho was too, as well, based off of Ed Gein. So, yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre and those guys really changed the horror genre, as George Romero changed the horror genre for zombies and stuff like that. So,
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Brett. It has been a treat. I can't wait to see you for the 60th anniversary of this movie in 10 years. I hope you come up to Atascadero again. I know we'll do some more screenings and get you up this way so you can come hang out.
well, just put it together. Let's go.
I got you. Thank you so much and have an amazing day, Brett.
All right, brother.